So Sona is even more broken now than she used to be before. Don't believe me? I actually spammed Sona. And as you can see, 68% win rate. And very, very easily got Challenger with this champion. Like, very, very easily. And there, like, Sona actually got nerfed. But she's even stronger than before. Why? Let me tell you. There are two reasons. They're both on the screen. This is reason number one. This is reason number two. So if you just want to skip to the gameplay, there are timestamps in the description, but now I'm going to explain to you guys the new way of building Sona, because there is a new way. It's not like the old Sona anymore. I mean, you can build Sona the old way as well, like the way, I explained before, but this is better. This is better, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, Relic Shield. Secondly, you don't actually finish off the Archangel Staff. You go for a Tear of Goddess, then you go for the Staff of Flowing Water, and then you finish it. Let me actually put it like this. I think, yeah, you can do this, right? Boom, boom, boom. This is the actual way to build Sona. So you start with a Relic Shield, Spectral Sickle, sorry. Tear of Goddess. Then you go for the Staff of Flowing Water. Then you finish off the Archangel Staff. And before you finish it off, of course, you get boots. The Ionian Boots of Lucidity. After that, it becomes situational. 90% of the games, well, 80% of the games. Okay, 80% of the games you go for Cosmic Drive. This item is like beyond broken on Sona because it gives you movement speed and it gives you 30 ability haste. Massive. You can spam the hell out of your abilities, and every time you hit an enemy champion, every time you will get the movement speed. So you can run around like crazy. Enemies can't really catch up to you anymore. They really have to hard CC you or one-shot you. These are the only two ways they can actually stop you when you're playing Sona. I'm also gonna tell you the one champion that you can pick to always destroy Sona. Can you guess what champion that is? I'm actually gonna ask that during the gameplay as well. 80% of the game's Cosmic Drive. Let's say you're up against like Heavy Burst. That is when you could opt to go for the Rabadon's Death Cap. Why, you may ask? The reason is because this gives you more of a burst shield. Because if you're up against heavy burst, which is not ideal for Sona, by the way, it is generally gonna be better to get like a burst shield instead of, sustaining, shielding, and healing. Rabadon's Death Cap is going to give you a bigger shield, It's not going to give you shields as often, but it's going to give you a big shield. So boom, in one go, you have one big shield. That's the idea. And then combined with the Phase Rush, you're going to have another one up very soon. Because Phase Rush gives you, cooldown reduction as well. But otherwise, you go for the Cosmic Drive. If your team has like very good attack damage carries, like, why can I? If you have a Darius who's doing very good, and a Jinx, and a Jungle Rengar, if you have these types of champions that are doing good in your team, you can actually choose to go for Ardent Censor's third item. If that's the case, then you're gonna be more of a supporting champion, as in like providing utilities. Giving the attack speed to your allies, giving the bonus magic damage to your allies. That's really, really good to have, of course. Otherwise, as I said, Cosmic Drive is much, much better for yourself. Like, those are the only items you want to get after that. After the Cosmic Drive, again, situational. Very likely you're going to go for Rabadon's Death Cap, or you could go for the Ardent Censor. Rabadon, like, if you're carrying the game, you go for Rabadon's Death Cap. Pretty much 90% of the times you go Rabadon's Death Cap, fourth item. And again, if you feel like you need an Ardent Censor, that's when you get it. Now, fifth item, it gets interesting. If you need, if you need to help your team, again, Ardent Censor. Otherwise, there is this one item which allows you to actually solo carries a Sona, which is Lich Bane. Fifth item, Lich Bane, it's crazy. Like, your first ability is gonna do so much damage, and the basic attack after it is basically gonna half-life anyone. It does an unbelievable amount of damage. Now you may be asking, what enchantments do I go for on Sona? There's multiple. Number one, Stasis Enchant. This is my favorite because, if you're up against a Zed, if you're up against anything that, can one-shot you or can kill you, that can assassinate you, Evelyn, things like that, you use Stasis Enchant, you survive, and then during the fight, you're gonna get your Stasis Enchant again. Because, enemies are gonna fall, and it's gonna reduce 40% every kill or assist. You're gonna get it again. You can use it again in a team fight. Locket is good as well if you're up against Katarina, Akali, Fizz. Well, not necessarily Fizz, but like heavy magic damage. If you're up against like some sort of heavy magic damage, Ziggs, for example. When Ziggs ults, sure, you can block it with your barrier, but you can use Locket just to take out all of the damage, really. So, like, if you're up against heavy AP damage, that's where you go for Locket. If you're up against Assassins, you go for the Ionian Stasis. Meteor, I don't really recommend. Only if your team really is lacking damage, that's when you can go for the Meteor. But only if they're lacking damage, like, otherwise not. Veil, meh. Meh. Even if your teammate gets stunned or something, you can just give them a shield, with your second ability. You can stun the enemy. It should be fine. You don't necessarily need a Veil when you play Sona, because you can save your teammates anyways. That is how you build Sona. Now here you go for phase rush. And if you carefully read what it says, use 3 basic attacks or abilities on an enemy champion. And if you hit 1 ability on 2 enemy champions, it counts as 2. So like you can, if you do basic attack first ability and you hit 2 enemies at the same time, it instantly procs the phase rush. So first of all, you get, let's see what it says. It starts with ability haste. Within 4 seconds grants ability haste, movement speed, and reduces the remaining cooldown basic attacks. This is important, this one. Reduces the remaining cooldown of basic abilities by 20%. So like immediately, the cooldowns of your remaining basic abilities, which is non-ultimate abilities, gets reduced by 20%. So you're gonna have your first ability again, second ability again, and your third ability again. So you get movement speed. Here you can see how much it is, 30 up to 50, which is great. Like you're gonna get the movement speed to chase the enemy or to run away. And additional ability haste for 4 seconds. This is great as well. And the cooldown is only 12 seconds. So like every time you're gonna get that 10 ability haste, the movement speed, and the remaining cooldown reduction. That is the beauty of phase rush on Sona. Now, secondly, you go for Gathering Storm because you want to have as much AP in the late game as possible. Like the other ones are pretty useless on Sona. Like you could go Triumph, but don't go Triumph. Just go for Gathering Storm. Third one is situational. Hunter Titan if the enemy has CC. Otherwise, just go for Nullifying Orb. Nullifying Orb is pretty much always a safe one, and you can just go for it. Fourth one, you need a Mana Flow Band. I see some Sona players go for Hunter Genius, but no. You don't need Hunter Genius. You're already enough of a genius because you have so much ability haste. Just go for Mana Flow Band so you can spam your abilities. And this is especially good for the early mid game, where you're going to be struggling with mana. But of course, in the late game as well, it helps to have 300 extra mana. For your spells, you go for Flash, and then you can either go for a heal or an ignite. If you have a bit of a bully on the enemy in the lane, you go for heal, so you can heal your teammate in the lane. If you are the bully, you go for ignite. Because you can bully them and you can kill them with the ignite. So, sorry. That is it for the build. Let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. So, this is not gonna be the perfect Sona game for you guys. Like, I just want to tell you right here and now. The majority of my Sona games are free wins. Like, I don't want to show you those games. But this game right here is really gonna show you why Sona is broken. And what I want to say to you players out there that have never played Sona before, 1 second, is that if there is a single champion in this game where your mentality has to be never give up, this is the champion. Literally, every game is winnable when you play Sona. Every game. Every game. I don't care who you're against. Every game is winnable. That is the beauty of this champion. Early game, what do? All you do is get your relic, what is it called? Spectral sickle stacks. Just hit the enemies with your first ability. Get close enough to them on the edge, use your first ability and run back. Like, boom, just like that. You see, I'm not doing it to do damage, just doing it to get my spectral sickle. You are gonna lose lane as a Sona. Unless you're up against like a Thresh, for example, because you can bully a Thresh without getting hit by the hooks. But like this lane, we're always gonna lose. They have a Nami, they have a Caitlyn, they're gonna bully us. This is why I took heal. As you can see, heal allowed me to heal up to Tristana, and now we're okay again. What we're basically doing is we're buying time. We're buying time, and we're just trying to play it safe. We're just trying to not die. That is all we're trying to do. Don't die and get as much gold as possible. Look, I'm just telling him, stay on the turret. It's okay. Just don't die. Just stay here, and it's fine. Irelia is wandering around here, so we do have to be a little bit careful because, of course, if she ganks us, we're gonna be screwed. So I know that Irelia could be coming here, but I'm also seeing that we're pushing the wave, so we should be fine. Oh, Irelia's coming. Yeah, we're gonna have to abandon this lane. It is what it is. Like, don't try to defend things like this as a Sona. Just leave. Just leave. It's okay. As a Sona, it's okay to take. Oh, it's okay to take early game losses. As long as it's not too much. Like, as long as you don't die too often. Tristana says lol bot done. Tristana obviously doesn't understand how Sona works. Like, oh, bot is done, and then he buys the most stupid item, which, delays his power spike even more. I'm telling him here, just don't die. Like, we're gonna be okay as long as you don't die. Like, bot lane is gonna be fine. Just don't die. Simple. Don't die. We can just play it safe and don't die. So, as I said, with Sona, just make sure you get your spectral sickle stacks just by poking with your first ability, and that is really it early game. Like, you should be able to get through like 80% of the games easily. Like, just play the early game safe. don't try to make nice plays early game. Just poke them. Like here, you can see I'm just poking them with my first ability. That's all I'm doing. And it's okay to sometimes take damage for it, but don't take too much damage for it. Like, don't poke them and let Nami hit a bubble on you and, half-life you. Of course, that's not worth it, right? Just poke them to take, like, one shot from Caitlyn or one shot from Nami. That is okay. Like, look, boom, perfect. You see how good this is? I'm poking them, I'm getting my gold, and we're fine. Like, we're totally fine here. We're not dying, and we're not getting to a lower amount of HP. So, when you get level 5, it changes a little bit. What I did here is I was actually baiting them, but you can clearly see Irelia was waiting in the bush as well. And Irelia just absolutely demolished all of us. This guy was a good Irelia player. What can I say? Like, just a really, really good Irelia player. Fun fact, by the way, Sona hard counters Irelia. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys. There is one champion in the game, and this is the test your knowledge. In the entire game, there is one champion. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for you guys. This champion is a mid laner. And this one champion in particular absolutely hard counters Sona. If the player on the certain champion is a good player, you have no chance as a Sona. When I am against a Sona, I flex this mid laner to the support role. And up until now, I have never lost to a Sona when I did this strategy. Now, my question to you guys, which champion am I talking about? Which mid laner can you flex to support to just absolutely destroy Sona? And you can also destroy Sona when you play this champion in the mid lane, of course, but test your knowledge. Let me know in the comments, write it down, and I'm gonna reveal it in like a minute or so, if I don't forget. We have to run, we have to run, we have to run. Nice. Yeah, we're both dead again, aren't we? Yeah, we're probably both dead. Oh, they could have killed him as well. Okay, they did kill him. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? So, enemies are just doing a good job. Like, enemy Irelia is just doing a phenomenal job ganking our lane. This is really, you don't want this to happen, right? Like, we were overstepping way too much. Why were we under their turret? There's no reason. Just play it safe. Like, just stay under your turret, because now we lost the turret, we died twice, and we just got destroyed. So let me reveal the champion that just absolutely demolishes Sona, with no contest. It's Annie. Annie. Annie will destroy Sona every game, if it's a good player. Because there is no counterplay to an Annie when you play Sona. And, as I said, you can flex Annie in the support role, and it will still do good. Like, it will still destroy the Sona, because late game, even if you only get like 1.5 items, you can still one-shot the Sona as an Annie. Or basically, you can engage on the Sona and your teammates can finish her off easily. And then, of course, when you get 2 items, 3 items, you're just going to one-shot her. And all you're going to do in the late game is you're just going to focus Sona. No one else, only Sona. You're going to flash into the Sona, you're going to protobot to the Sona. All you're going to do is just go on Sona. And this is how to counter Sona. This is the big way to counter Sona. We're probably not going to win this fight. I'm just not strong enough here. Yeah, I'm just definitely... Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, what happened? Now let me tell you why Sona counters Irelia, even though she just absolutely dumpstered us. You have to understand Sona's a late game champion. So when we talk about countering, we talk about late game. In the late game, Sona has this exhaust passive, right? After you use your second ability, you get the green bar, right? The purple bar slows the enemy. The blue bar, your next basic attack. Your next basic attack when you have a blue bar damages the enemy. But the green bar is the best. It exhausts the enemy. It reduces their damage for the next 3 seconds or so. And in the late game, that's going to be like 40-50%. When an Irelia wants to go in, of course, you prepare the green bar. You basic attack her. So she does her full engage. She tries to do boom, boom, first ability, whatever. But she'll do half the damage. Here, like, the reason that I did it like that is because I thought Yasuo would run away. But he didn't run away, so he died anyways. So it was fine for me to miss my ability there. So that is why you counter champions like that. Like, Sona destroys champions like that. Sona hard counters Ezreal as well. Because first of all, Ezreal's poking is negated by Sona. Because you can just out-heal it and give barriers to your team. Secondly, you can just exhaust him because he doesn't have a big range. Just walk up to the Ezreal, exhaust him with that, empowered attack from after the second ability. He's not going to do anything. This game is looking horrible, though. What can I say? Like, we're really, really getting behind. So, If the enemy is smart, they kill me first. If they don't kill me first, we can actually maybe win a team fight. So even in losing situations, you have to understand the enemies really have to play it correct to win against the Sona. If you're playing any other support, you know, they can do whatever and still steamroll your team. But if you're playing Sona, the enemies really have to understand what to do even when they're snowballing. And you know what the beauty of Wildrift is? People don't know that. Like, legit only 10% of the games have I actually lost. No, maybe I think, okay, so let me say it like this. Of course I lose games because, you know, I screw up or because my team is horrible. But let me just say, if I had a team that was evenly good as the enemy team, I win 90 up to 95% of the games as a Sona. Let's talk about the 5% that I don't win when my team is evenly good as the enemy team. The one way I lose the game is if the enemy knows how to play against the Sona. And the way they know how to play against the Sona is if they hard focus the Sona. Every team fight, just focus Sona, you know? In this situation right here, you know, Nami has to ult me, then bubble me, and then Irelia goes on me, and after the bubble, Yasuo ults me, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Like, I'm probably gonna die up until my second item. When you get your second item, which is the Archangel Staff, and it upgrades into a Seraph's Embrace, that's when it's gonna be really hard for the enemies to kill you. Because then you're not gonna be one-shot anymore. It gives you the bonus barrier when you get to a low amount of HP, right? Before that, you're gonna get one-shot. There is no counterplay, and that is why Sona is not good in the early game. But after that, you are gonna have counterplay, because you're gonna have Seraph's Embrace and Stasis Enchant, both of them. So basically, Seraph's Embrace allows you to tank just a little bit. You can use your second ability too, and then of course, you know, your stasis, right? Your stasis enchant is gonna allow you to save. Look at what I'm doing here. Boom! I exhausted the Irelia, and I stunned her, and she's left with nothing. Look. And now I slow the Caitlyn. This time I use the purple one. And she's gonna die as well. You see? You have to use the right ones at the right times. You can't just... So a lot of people think Sona is just clicking on random abilities and that's it. No. It's clicking on the right abilities at the right time. And also using the right empowered basic attack. 70% of the times you're gonna use the empowered second ability. 20% of the times the empowered third ability. Basic attack after the third ability is what I mean. And then 10% of the times you're going to use the empowered attack after the first ability. So essentially, the empowered attack after the second ability is by far the most powerful. By far. Like, as of making the video now, it is absolutely by far the most powerful empowered attack that Sona has. Because you can hit it on the strongest enemy carry. Like, this enemy Irelia has been hard carrying the game. But because I'm constantly exhausting her, she's not gonna be that strong anymore. You know, she's gonna be significantly weaker, and she's not gonna be able to demolish my team because I'm exhausting her. There's no other champion that can do this, guys. This is the whole power of Sona. Meanwhile, like, you basically exhaust the strongest enemy champion permanently, and you provide perma healing to your team and a perma barrier. And then you also have a really good stun, and you provide permanent movement speed to your allies with your third ability. I mean, what else is a champion supposed to provide? And you provide it to your entire team. It's not to one ally, to your entire team. So let's take a look at what happens here. Oh, I actually flashed here just to get that kill on the Jax. I didn't want him to go too far. Here you can see the enemies actually made a smart decision. You see that? Yasuo ulted me and he almost killed me. But I used my Stasis Enchant. This particular game, I actually even bought a Stasis Enchant before my Archangel Staff because I really wanted to prioritize staying alive. And in this situation, you can clearly see Stasis saved me, right? Stasis saved my ass. So this is so important to get, like, if you need defense, get defense before any offense. The reason that I'm saying it is because Sona's base stats are really powerful already. So like the base exhausting, the base healing, the base barrier that your second ability provides is already very strong. It's more important for you to stay alive than to buy, you know, Rabadon's Death Cap, Ardent Sensor. It's way more important for you to stay alive. So finish your Archangel Staff, finish your Stasis Enchant if you need it, of course. Finish those items first. Those are going to be more important than the offensive items. Of course, if you're in a game where you don't need it, you know, you can actually choose to go for the offensive stuff first. Let's take a look at what happens here. Look, I'm just going on the Irelia. You see, I just wanted to make sure we killed the Irelia. Boom, boom, and now, like, after we kill the Irelia, we win every fight easy. Like, look at this, boom, easy kill. Using my third ability for the movement speed. Keep in mind, by the way, you only have to hit your ally once with the third ability, and it's gonna be giving the movement speed. It's gonna be giving the movement speed to that ally for like 4 seconds or even 5 seconds. So before you use like your second ability, very quickly use your third ability, and then use your second ability. Like it's generally better to do that. Just make sure you use it. Like just click on it and then any other ability, and it's gonna be giving you constant movement speed to your allies, to you and to your allies. So as long as your allies are within the third ability, of course, that's how it works, right? So that's how you have to think. I'm telling my team that I need this blue buff. Hopefully they understand. It seems like they do understand. Very, very nice. That's amazing. Like, I really want to repeat how unbelievably broken Sona is. It's actually unbelievable how broken this champion is. I don't know why I'm not seeing Sona every game. I actually don't know why I'm not seeing Sona every game. Because this champion is broken. It's beyond broken. Like, it honestly feels unfair to play Sona. But she's a champion in the game, so of course I'm playing her, right? But to me, it feels unfair. And the funny thing is, I also know how to counter a Sona, which is Annie. Like, or full AP Malphite. Full AP Malphite is also good against Sona, but Annie is even better. Like, Annie is even better. I can flash stun them here. It would be very aggressive, but I could do it because I have a stasis. So, like, I could flash stun. The reason that I didn't do it, let me tell you, is because Malphite already wasted his ult, and he doesn't have any mana. So, me flash ulting there makes no sense, because there is no real follow-up. But if we had follow-up, I would have 100% flash ulted them right there. Flash ult is also a very powerful tool that Sona has. Enemies won't see it coming. So learn how to combo your flash with your ultimate as a Sona. So, you know, so you do the combo very clean. I'm just gonna ult, like, I'm just gonna ult over Irelia here. Look, the enemies are being a little smarter, trying to go on me, but they can't. Look at this. I slow him and he's dead. If they don't kill me, we're never gonna lose this. I can save him, maybe? Ah, too late for my second ability. Maybe we could take this turret, actually. We have to be careful. Ooh, I just wasted my exhaust passive. Look, look, she's not gonna die. It's like it's really hard for her to... Oh. It doesn't matter because I'm Sona. Look at this. Everyone is full HP. Only one guy died, but everyone else is full HP. Look at how crazy this champion is, guys. Please tell me this is not broken. Dare to tell me this is not broken. And while we're running to the top lane, we're both gonna be full HP again. Look, boom, boom, and Tristana is full HP. One more boom. Well, we're gonna go back anyway, so it's fine. At this point, it's gonna be so unbelievably hard for the enemies to win. So as a Sona in the late game, there's one thing you have to avoid, which is burst damage. Like, if you look at this enemy, for example, how can they kill me? Nami ultimate plus Yasuo ultimate. That is the one way they can kill me. Otherwise, they're never gonna kill me. Irelia is never gonna one-shot me with a stun. If she stuns me and goes on me, ults me, I'm just gonna flash away, use my second ability and stasis, and I'll be fine. But if Nami ults me and Yasuo follows up, now that is a problem. Because after that, Irelia can stun me and then I'm dead, right? That is the one way they could kill me. You always have to think when you play Sona, how can the enemies kill me? How do I avoid it? Because if you avoid it, you've essentially done 80% of the work. The other 20% is, you know, healing your team, which is basically spamming the second ability, and exhausting the right targets. That's literally it. That is literally it. So, like, as I said, this enemy, that is the one way they can kill me. So the thing is, if you're up against an Annie, you can't really counter it, because you can't stasis while you're stunned. Quicksilver ain't gonna save you as well, because she's just gonna one-shot you. That's the problem with, you know, with Annie. I can't really, like, look what is he doing? Look what he's doing. So he died. I tried to save him, and I'm gonna die for it as well. It was actually Malphite's fault. This was totally Malphite's fault. Absolutely idiotic for him. Also my fault. I should have let him die. But I was being a team player. I didn't want to let him die. And now we screwed up. Because, like, only three of us have the Baron now. All 5 of us could have had it here. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video if you want. It really helps the channel. And that's really the only reason. Yeah. So if you want to, you can do that. Oh, they're actually winning now. Look. Look, they're winning. Normally your team won't really win if you're dead as a Sona, because you provide so much value. But, like, now we've gotten ahead, actually. Like, earlier on in the game, we actually managed to make the comeback against an Irelia who was 10-0 or something. And now we are ahead. So, like, my team is actually even winning without me at this point. And another thing with Sona, you don't have to rush things. Like, there's a lot of champions where you have to rush, right? Like, if it's an early game champion, you have to get dragons, you know, you have to get Rift Heralds, you have to get Barons. You don't care as a Sona. Don't throw away a lead to try and take the dragon, please. This is what I hate when when I'm playing Sona. My teammates are gonna try to fight for the dragon while the enemy has a Lee Sin and all those kinds of early game champions. There's no reason. Just give it away. Give it away and farm on the opposite side. Try to take Rift Herald. You can't take Rift Herald. It's okay. Just take jungle. Try to take turret plates. Just get something else. It's okay because as a Sona, you're gonna outskill everyone. Everyone. No one outskills Sona. No one. Literally no one in this game outskills Sona. Again, Annie is a different story, but like, let's just ignore Annie. Like, you have to understand. I actually always ban Annie when I play Sona. Just a quick tip to you guys. So, besides Annie, you pretty much outskill everyone. Everyone. Like, you're just gonna win the late game. Oh, he goes on me again? I don't even have to stasis, because like, I know my team is around me, so I'll be fine. But otherwise, you know, if the enemy was here, I'm just gonna stasis, and he's not gonna be able to do much to me. Enemies are basically too late to win this game anymore. Like, we really have to screw up this game to lose. An example was when me and Malphite tried to 2v5 them. Of course, we're gonna lose that, right? But if we just play a proper 5v5 and not screw up the game, we should be totally fine. Like, look, I can flash stun them here. And that's exactly right. I stunned 3 of them, as you can see. Oh, that is a good engage from the enemy. Oh, that is a good engage. But I'm using all my healing. Look at this, look at this. Just look at the healing and the barriers, guys. Like, they are dying in their own base. You see how they're literally dying in their own base? Look at this. Tristana's alive. Oh, she's not alive anymore. But look at this. Just look at how crazy this healing is. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. Look. He's trying to kill my teammate. Boom, boom, boom. Stun and boom. He cannot do anything. Sona is just too broken. As long as you stay alive. Boom. And boom. Easy. And they trying to kill me. And I survive. And we win the game. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this should show to you how broken Sona really is. If you didn't know that already, Sona is just beyond broken. Absolutely crazy, this champion. So let's take a look at how much damage I did and everything like that. Obviously, I'm going to be MVP. I mean, I already know that. Has to be MVP. I am not MVP. Wow, okay. Nautilus did good too. Yeah, actually, Nautilus did really, really well. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.